Hi, welcome to BwellAware Class 9 Video A. We're at the second trimester. We've been doing great. So in the last class, someone asked about the 5-minute rule. We've been talking about the 5-second rule with Mel Robbins from the very beginning, where if you want to do something just like a rocket, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bam, go off and do it. But what was the 5-minute rule? Well, I went and did some research, and here it comes. So I found out one of the big proponents of the 5-minute rule is a gentleman called Kevin Systrom. You may know him as the 33-year-old billionaire of Instagram. And he's a huge fan. And what is the 5-minute rule? What it is if you're procrastinating, there's something you don't want to do, or you've been putting it off, make yourself a deal. You're going to do it for 5 minutes and 5 minutes only. And what happens is after the 5 minutes are over, you're done. And why does this work? Well, in order to know why it works, you got to understand why we procrastinate. Christina Lee, who's a clinical psychologist, puts it really well. We procrastinate because we're afraid of what we don't want to get into it, not finish it. We're anxiety. It's like, oh, I got so much to do. We have uncertainty. It's just stress. So we don't do it at all. We'll sit there with the bill. We won't even open up the bill because we think, oh, what's going to be in here? What do I got to deal with? And that holds us back because we're afraid that all of our fears are going to be true. So Juliana Moore, a Yale psychologist, knocks it down of what happens when you use the 5-minute rule. And really what it does, it lowers your inhibitions. How that works is, hey, you don't have to worry about it. Your 5 minutes, you're done. You don't have to go on for an hour or 2 hours or days, whatever it's going to take. Bam, that bell goes off in 5 minutes, you're done. You're in total control of the situation, which makes it so much easier to get started. Also, by lowering the inhibition, it lowers what's called the costs of inhibitions. And the first one is the cost of the activity. And here's the emotional cost. The anxiety of, oh, I got to do all this, and the fear of what's going to happen with it. So that gets lowered to 5 minutes. You can get it done. There's the cost of loss. Well, if I got to do this, well, then I can't do that, and I can't do that, and I can't do that. Hey, 5 minutes, you're back at it. Not a big deal. So it lowers the cost of opportunity. And then there's the effective costs. How exhausting is this going to be? Oh my gosh, I don't have time for all this. Hey, 5 minutes, you're done. So we know that we have procrastination, it lowers our inhibitions. Here's why it's such a beautiful rule. It's simple. Set a timer, 5 minutes, you're done. But what is really great about it is what happens once you get started. Everybody knows the hardest part of doing just about anything is the first step, getting started. With the 5-minute rule, real easy to get started. And the beautiful thing, when you're in the 5 minutes and you get started, you're into what's called a flow. And a lot of times what happens is once you get into something, you get immersed in it, and you get focused on it, time flies. So next time you try this, you will be amazed how fast 5 minutes comes. And it just all of a sudden it's completely gone. And then what happens is once the 5 minutes hits, you may go a little bit longer. Or if you do shut it down at 5 minutes, which is absolutely the rule, you can shut it down at 5, set yourself up to come back the next day, and you'll realize that, hey, 5 minutes is pretty easy. So this is really a great rule to try this week. If you have anything you've been putting off, or you're just holding off on it, and you go like, I don't want to do it, the 5-minute rule. Set your timer and get after it. So thanks a lot for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next class. And remember, be well aware and you live well aware. Good learning. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.